Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband's Paul. We're so happy you have joined us today. It's good to be home. Those of you who follow us regularly know we were at our little house in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We just got back. We had to go down, check on some things, and we'll share that all with you in this video. We're also going to share some fun and frugal things to do if you're in that area. And even if you're not, look around where you live because these things might be available to you in your own hometown. We're going to be talking about a little sticker shock in prices when it came to electricity down south. And then we will come back north and share a little bit of springtime refresh. And we'll also be getting into the kitchen and making a super frugal, delicious main meal. So let's get right to this video. For those of you who are new here, the home we refer to as the Little House is in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And it was willed to Paul and I when my parents passed. It was our family vacation home back in the 80s. So Paul and I have maintained it. Thankfully, it does not cost a lot to maintain and keep, except you'll see in this video we have some repairs coming up. But we'll share that with you. I will post a video down below of when we did a tour of the little house, so those of you who are new can see what we're talking about. So when we left here in New York, it was probably about 45 degrees that morning. It was cold. We were in sweatpants, sweatshirts. Well, the next day when we finally pulled into our driveway, this is what we saw. So the area was in full bloom. We felt like we were in deep springtime down there, and it was just great. The next day we did have the HVAC people coming to just check out our HVAC, make sure everything was okay. They came, they cleaned it, everything was fine. We thought maybe we had a broken pipe because our electricity hadn't fluctuated in the last several months, and we'll tell you why in a minute. So everything was good. We were so happy. They did their routine maintenance, and we wanted to celebrate that night. So some dear friends of ours said, let's go out tonight. We know something frugal and fun to do. They recommended playing jukebox bingo. What? We had never heard of this up here. Now, maybe some of you have it in your area. It was at the local 810 bowling alley. No, this is not a sponsored video. We just had such a good time. And guess what? The bingo was completely free. It was so fun. Let me give you a little glimpse. All the appetizers were half price. There were so many yummy choices, and you could get any of them for half price. And then they gave out these bingo cards which had popular songs on them, and it went about just like a regular bingo game. They would play a short clip of a song, and if that song was on your card, you would put the little token down. That went on for 2 hours. Completely free. I mean, you had to pay for food if you were buying some appetizers, and Paul and I split one. It was such a fun and frugal night. So if you have something like that in your area, check it out. The next day, we knew we had to get back to work after our super fun evening. Last June was the last time we had been down. We knew at some point we had to replace the floors in the house. And there was a little bit of a soft spot in front of the sink. So we were like, oh goodness. It was the original linoleum and the original carpet from when the house was built in 1970 something. We had cleaned the carpets over the year, but they weren't getting clean anymore. They were so worn. We're talking 50 years. So we knew it was time to replace the floors. I came out and posted a poll here on YouTube. You all are so great when we ask for your opinion. And I showed you 2 different samples. 70% of you pick the flooring that will be on your right as you're watching this clip. It is a warm kind of honey tone wood laminate. And you can see how it looks in the living room with the sofa. And you can see how it looks in our kitchen with the cabinets. I think the one we picked was a perfect choice. It was a warm wood tone, not too dark at all. I know in the pictures you can't really see it, but it's not dark at all. And then the 2 bedrooms we're going to carpet because the laminate is much more expensive than the carpet. But we went with a small mom and pop business locally in that area. And we asked right off the bat, is there a discount for paying cash? Can you do any better on any of the prices that you're offering us? And they worked with us. We came up with an agreed price on everything. And I always tell you, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to negotiate. A lot of times businesses are okay lowering their price a little bit, especially if it's a bigger job. So this worked out perfectly for us. But the problem was we couldn't do it now. There was not enough time. They had to order the flooring and things like that. So we're headed back down again in May to get the flooring done. And of course, we will take you on that journey with us. So that worked out perfectly. Now we want to share another fun day trip we did when we were down there as well. And that was to a place called Brook Green Gardens. And I'm going to show you a clip in a minute. It was absolutely stunning, filled with artwork and natural fauna and flora. There's a small zoo there. It's just so much to do, so much to walk around and see. There's even a little restaurant. And the price per person for adult was $22. If you were over 65, it dropped down to $20, and children were only $12. But the best part was the ticket you buy is valid for 7 days. So I thought economically, what a bargain. You could have come back the next day or 3 or 4 days. There was so much to see. There were benches. You could just sit, relax. Just a beautiful, beautiful area. So always look while you're on vacation or again in your own hometown for these really frugal and fun things to brighten up your spring and summer days. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Here in New York, we are not all electric. We have a propane stove. We have home heating oil for our heat plus a wood burning stove. And we have home heating oil for our hot water. But down at the little house, it is a completely electric house. As soon as we got there, I called to ask why our electric bill had remained so stagnant for several months. We hadn't been there since last June. Well, first thing was they put a smart meter on our house, which we didn't even know about, but I guess we didn't need to know about it. So now we have a smart meter that they can just read. So while I was talking to the woman, she said, please be aware that tomorrow, April 1st, we will go in our summer peak rate hours between 3 and 6 p.m. I said, I'm sorry, this is our second home. What does that mean? So this is what I believe she explained to me, that between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m., from April 1st till October 31st, any electricity that is used between those 3 hours will be $12 a kilowatt. You heard me right, $12 a kilowatt. I couldn't grasp what she was saying to me. I said, what do you mean $12 a kilowatt? She said, this is how we do it. Those of you down there dealing with this, because I know I've had some subscribers chime in that this was going on. Correct me if I am wrong, but the way I understood it, every day between 3 and 6 p.m., you will be charged $12 a kilowatt. And then what they will do is look at the last 30 days, and the day that had the highest kilowatt usage between those 3 hours is the day they will charge you for. Let's just hypothetically say you used 5 kilowatts on one particular day between 3 and 6 p.m. 12 times 5 is 60. So added on to your regular bill will be an extra $60 because that was your highest day between 3 and 6 p.m. that you used the most kilowatts. I was blown away. Now, granted, the rest of the day, it's only 7 cents a kilowatt, which is awesome. That is beyond great. But those 3 hours, when you are coming home from work, you are coming in from the beach because it is a tourist area, you're cooking dinner, you maybe want to take a shower before dinner, at $12 a kilowatt, you're not going to be wanting to run a hot electric water heater for any length of time. You're not going to want to put your stove on full blast. While we were there, we went into frugal mode immediately. 2:30, hot water heater got shut off. Any kind of cooking we did before then, we would put it in the refrigerator or actually have a cold meal, which I'm going to show you in a little while. We put the air conditioning up a little bit. We put our ceiling fans on. Well, they stay on all the time because they don't use much electricity at all. But we really went into frugal mode. Honestly, if you're retired, you can really work around that 3 to 6. It's going to be inconvenient. You'll probably have to eat dinner early, take your shower early, or do everything later in the night, which is okay. But for those of you who work and have this kind of high and low peak hours for your electricity, you really have to become creative and you really have to think, is it worth it? Have to remember, just one day that you go and use a lot of electricity between 3 and 6, that is the day they are going to charge you for. So it's kind of like you have to be consistent using less electricity between the hours of 3 and 6 p.m. We're going to use the least amount of electricity that we possibly could. And we did it, but I will let you know when we get our electric bill next month what it comes out to be. Now we are back in New York. About 40 something degrees when we got here, and the next morning was 28. So we were in like shock. Our bodies were like, what are you doing? It was so beautiful and warm down south. So what I decided to do, it was time to switch over our winter dishes and our spring dishes. And this is something I love to do. I think it will encourage you as well. If you don't feel motivated right now, if the weather hasn't really warmed up where you are, start doing little things to bring springtime into your home and into your life. As soon as we got home from South Carolina, I knew it was time to pull out my spring and summer dishes. Paul went into the attic for me and pulled the box out. I am just taking out all the pieces. What I will do is wash them, and then we will be all set to have our beautiful dishes throughout the spring and summer. I have bought these plates over the years at flea markets, and I found these dishes last year, I think. They are not even the same pattern, but look at how similar the colors are. It's amazing. So always keep your eye out. All those dishes were bought for a minimal cost. They are all mid-century dishes, which I love. You know that's who I am. But I have to do it in a way that is going to be economical and not just go on eBay and pay whatever they ask. So we're always keeping our eyes out at flea markets, thrift stores, tag sales, things like that, for things that we can add to a certain collection that we might have. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it was motivating. Get some springtime decor up and just enjoy. Now let's get into the kitchen and make a meal that we shared on here when we first started the channel. It's got to be 3 or 4 years ago at least, honestly. And I know one of our dear viewers, who's also a dear friend of ours, makes this all the time. He's like, Emmy, I love this dish so much. I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot about it. We hadn't made it in a while. But after realizing we needed to make some meals that were going to be low cost as far as using electricity down there, this one was a winner. So let's turn this camera around, get into the kitchen. Here are the ingredients you are going to need to make this delicious one bowl meal. First thing we're starting with is a stalk of celery, which you're going to chop up. The carrots I have are kind of thin, so I'm going to use 2 of those, and I'm going to dice those as well. I'm using 1 4-ounce can of tuna, but you can use whatever cooked protein you would like. Maybe you want to use chicken, beans, whatever you prefer, but for this, we're going to use tuna. I have 2 hard-boiled eggs, half a cup of mayonnaise, and 1 cup cooked cold rice. It's very important that the rice is cold. We're going to need a little onion powder, a little dill, some Dijon mustard. We like to use relish in this recipe, but we are out. So what I'm going to do is just chop up some sweet heat bread and butter pickle chips. And that will be just as good. Use what you have. The only thing that you would need to prepare in the morning or before the electric rate goes up are 2 hard-boiled eggs, and put them in the refrigerator, and the cup of cooked rice. And if you have rice with a meal the day before, make an extra cup and just keep it in the refrigerator. We chopped our pickles up. This is about 2 tablespoons. We've got our 2 hard-boiled eggs chopped. We cut up the celery, the carrots, and I also drained the can of tuna. We prefer the solid white tuna, but you can use whatever you want. So the cup of cold rice, you can see how it just separates. That's exactly what you want. That's why the rice has to be cold. We're gonna flake our tuna in, just break it up. So I broke the tuna up, and again, this is only a 4-ounce can. Look how much is in there. We're adding our add-ins, which will just elevate this so nicely. I've also made a version where I've used frozen peas. I've just rinsed the peas and then added them. That's good too, but we're sticking with celery and carrots today. I'm going to give it a toss first, before we add the other ingredients. Break up any big chunks of tuna. Now I'm going to add the half a cup of mayonnaise. Remember, always scrape. Now this is all combined nicely. I've got my Dijon mustard. You're going to add about a tablespoon or two, whatever you prefer to taste. Onion powder to taste. Please season it however you'd like. And now we're going to add some dill. And now we'll mix it again. This is so customizable. You could add olives. You could add whatever kind of vegetables you want. Switch up the protein. We used canned tuna because we're trying to keep cooking to a minimum. Weather's hot. Electricity is high. What we're going to do now is cover this, put it in the refrigerator, and let those flavors just come together for about 2 hours or so. It is now time for dinner. I have got down a bed of arugula and romaine lettuce and just some sliced carrots. And we're going to take our salad and we're just going to put 2 generous scoops on there. Well, they didn't really hold their shape, but that's okay. You knew what I meant. And then we're just going to lay some tomato right on top. And what a perfect, delicious, warm weather meal this is. Simple, easy, frugal, and really delicious. That was so yummy. Paul does not like tuna. He's not a huge tuna eater. So let's ask him what he thought. How was the tuna and rice?
The tuna and rice was really good. I was very surprised. Tuna, for some reason, I just don't like that fishy, oily taste, but it really tasted fresh. It was cool. It was just, it tasted great. So yeah, Paul approved that one.
Yeah, it was really good. Give that one a try. Then just assemble it when it's time to eat. It's just a little bit of slicing and dicing and mixing, and you have a delicious one dish meal. So we hope this video was not only encouraging and helpful, but I hope you just had fun watching what we did, how we did it, how we continue to save money on a daily basis. A frugal journey just doesn't stop. It's reinventing the journey and having fun along the journey and realizing how much we have along the journey and that we don't always have to keep adding more things. Our question of the day is, what is your favorite warm weather meal that is economical, family friendly, budget inspired, and all around delicious? Share that with us down below. If you want to share a recipe, you know we love that. Just give us some ideas on what we can make for the warm weather that are just delicious and frugal. Just a reminder that next week is Holy Week for Paul and I and our family. So there will be no video next Friday. If you're not following us on Instagram, come on over there. I do post quick posts, let you know what's going on or what we're cooking or what we're doing. Always stay connected with us that way. Watch some of our older videos. We have over 500 videos on this channel. Leave us a comment. You know we love to hear from you. We thank you so much for spending this time with us. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Come on in and be part of our frugal family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.